Hello and welcome to Vibrational Revelations. My name is Elena.
My name is Alejandro.
Thank you so much for being a part of Vibrational Revelations YouTube community. We've had an incredible response from the last couple of episodes that we've done, revealing vibrational frequencies, levels of consciousness of some of the figures that are showing up in the news lately. Now, today we decided to do something a little different. A couple of years ago, we actually have revealed vibrational frequencies of some of the controversial organizations like World Health Organizations, FBI, CIA. Now, if you want to dive deep into that episode, we do have it posted in the Vibrational Revelations membership platform, because this particular video was actually flagged by YouTube, and we had a strike against us on the YouTube channel. So unfortunately, it cannot be published on this channel, but we do have a Vibrational Revelations membership community. So we hope that you join us there. This is where we go live once a month, but we also have a full library of episodes, over 200 episodes that we've recorded over the last 5 years. We also want you to keep in mind that if you join the Vibrational Revelations membership community, which currently we have it at the rate of $111, you get 25% off of your own vibrational frequencies PDF. So, or any other digital products that we also offer. Now, if you're not familiar with what we do, which sometimes if brand new people join us, you're like, how do you do what you do? And what is all of this? So we use Scalar Wave Technology, and somebody actually asked a very valid question. What information do you need in order to read someone's vibrational frequency? So we usually ask for your photograph and your name. Your name at birth is very helpful. And then also having, if you've changed your name, you can also include it. Now, sometimes if you want to book your lifetime vibrational frequencies, for that, we do need your birthday. And the reason we say that is because in order for us to read what happened to you from birth until however old you are, we don't know how old you are, we do need you to add that to the form, okay? Just to clarify it. Now, the scale that we use is called Vibrational Frequencies of Awakening Scale. And by the way, I'll be adding it in the comment section below in the descriptions. So if you're not familiar with the scale, or if you are and you just want to refresh it, make sure that you download that as well. And sometimes people will say to me, I didn't get the scale in my email. Check your spam folder as well. Now, without further ado, we're going to start this episode, and here is what we are revealing to you today. We're revealing the hidden frequencies of some of the global organizations that are making the news today. And what are they? So they are the Human Rights Council, USAID, UNRWA, the U.S. Department of Education, and DOGE. We're going to dive and expose to you, explore with you 9 different parameters. So let's begin with the first one. The first one is United States Department of Education. So just a little background on it, and also what makes it controversial. And I believe Donald Trump is shutting it down. Okay. So United States Department of Education is a federal agency responsible for overseeing education policy, administering federal funding for schools, and ensuring equal access to education. Established in 1979, its mission is to improve student achievement and support educational institutions across the country. However, the department has faced significant scrutiny over several issues, and I'll list those issues in a moment. But I do have to say that actually the level of education in public schools in the United States is one of the worst in the world, which is, for many people who live in the United States, it could be quite shocking. I remember when I first immigrated to the United States in 1989, for me, it was a huge shock. I grew up in the former Soviet Union and Ukraine, and I remember coming to US and thinking, wow, like the classes I had to take for chemistry, mathematics, and physics in high school was or even in the university level, was something that I've studied in middle school. And I thought, how can this even be? And I didn't even speak a word of English. And I remember getting all A's in sciences because it was so easy. So there's definitely been a massive issue. So I'm going to list now, we're going to go through what are some of the scrutinies of why United States Department of Education has been red flagged. Federal overreach versus state control. So critics argue that the department exerts too much influence over local and state education policies, limiting flexibilities for states and school districts to tailor education to their communities. Some advocate for reducing or even eliminating the department, believing education should be handled at the state level. So that's the first one. Second was or is scrutiny, loan crisis, and debt forgiveness. The Department of Education manages federal student loans, and it has been heavily criticized for its handling of the student debt crisis. I would also say that actually the university education in the United States and the amount of money people go into debt is out of control. Like if you look at how much it costs to go to a university, is absolutely absurd in comparison to everywhere else around the world. Issues like predatory lending, mismanagement of loan forgiveness programs, and the rising cost of college have led to public frustration and political debates over debt cancellation. And actually, for most young people, I can't even imagine it making sense to go to school because it's so expensive. You start off your life with debt. Number three, standard testing and Common Core. The department has supported policies like Common Core and high stakes standardized testing, which critics argue have led to teaching to the test culture, which is so true. I remember my kids who have been going through school when they were, younger, they had to study for standardized tests. This is public education, of course. It's a little different in private schools. Increased stress for students and teachers, and a lack of focus on creativity and critical thinking. I absolutely agree with that. And number four is Title IX policies and controversies. Changes in Title IX enforcement, particularly regarding how schools handle sexual misconduct allegations, have sparked backlash from both sides of the political spectrum. Some claiming the policies fail to protect survivors, while others argue they infringe on due process rights for the accused. Okay, so that was the fourth, and there's two more.
Number 5, equity versus equality in education. Policies aimed at promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the schools have been both praised and criticized. Supporters argue they help disadvantaged students, while opponents claim they lead to political bias, discrimination, and lower academic standards. Number 6, handling of COVID-19 and school closures. The department faced criticism for its role in prolonged school closures during the COVID-19 pandemic, with debates over the impact on student learning loss, mental health, and the widening achievement gap.
Yeah, I mean, just the amount of depression that has come out of mental health issues as a result of the amount of time the schools were closed. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, along with the restrictions enforced and forcing many students that were uncomfortable to wear masks.
I know that happened to my daughter,
or those
Sophia.
that were not allowing the students that were fearful about the situation to wear masks. Either side was definitely experiencing
I know my Sophia
stress
ended up going to
or
online school for 9 months. She was having migraines with masks, and she's like, I can't handle it. which is terrible too, because it's part of your education as being social. So that was cut out. But anyway, so let's dive into the vibrational frequency of United States Department of Education. Okay, and just to keep in mind as a reminder, we're looking at vibrational frequency scale, which is from 0 to 1,000, 1,000 being the illumination frequency. Okay, so we're looking at that.
The divine essence that lies within each and every one of us.
And at this point, of course, we're looking at organization. So it's very interesting, right? If human collective, let's say globally, is 125 or 150, the frequency for United States Department of Education is 55, which is the frequency of manipulation. Terrible, right? Impact on human perception is 55. So this is how they want to be perceived. What are they putting out as their face? So again, what they're putting out is really they want to manipulate the public. So no wonder, I mean, we're literally living through times of revelations, and no wonder we're calling what we're doing vibrational revelations. We're revealing you information through vibrational frequencies. Now, relationship to others is vibrational frequency of 55. Again, the signature of manipulation. Service to others, which is also very revealing, and it's a frequency of 55. Now, integrity. It's important to understand organizations' integrity to themselves and then their integrity to others. So in this case, integrity to themselves of 100%, integrity to others, 35%. Now, this is percentages, 100, of course, ultimate integrity, and then from, all the way down is going downhill. Transparency of the organization is 30%, so not very transparent. Alignment with divine purpose is 19%, and alignment with its mission, 48%. So no wonder, I think the alignment with its mission, perhaps a few years back, was quite high, but because they're under investigation and it's been shut down, the alignment with its mission is going down, of course. And we're looking at it where it is today, this particular year. All right, the next one.
Next one is the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East.
So UNRWA, which has been in the news a lot.
UNRWA is a UN agency actually established in 1949 to provide aid and services to Palestinian refugees. It operates in Gaza, the West Bank, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria, offering humanitarian assistance, education, healthcare, social services, and emergency relief. Let's see.
And UN, Trump just withdrew from UNRWA, right? So US is no longer supposedly going to be funding this organization.
Exactly. So UNRWA, overall frequency, or the level of consciousness that they are operating from and experiencing, is 55 as well. When it comes to organizations, we can say directly correlated with the aspect of manipulation. Yes. Impact on human perception, 55.
So again, this manipulation.
Relationships to others, 55. Service to others, we think is also extremely important, just to get a clear understanding of what their behavior is and what
Especially
it stems
they're
from.
Non-profit, right? They're there to aid.
At the core, when it comes to their thinking process and what they think is their mission, is service to others is 55%. And service to others is a key factor when it comes to transcending levels of consciousness. Yes? When we focus nothing but service to self, and then we neglect service to others, then we remain stagnant, or we just slow down the process of transcending and experiencing higher levels of consciousness.
Especially if you're an organization that claims to help refugees. So that tells you everything.
Yes, it's one
People who are suffering,
one would
right?
expect a lot lower levels of resistance, right? Because the higher the level of resistance, the lower the vibrational frequency. The lower the vibrational frequency, the further away you are from operating from full alignment, especially
To truly help people.
where the words are in sync with the actions, or
Yes.
their actions in this case. Now we go into integrity to self. This is how loyal and faithful they are to their truth. It doesn't have to be your truth, Elena's truth, or my truth. Is 100%. So they're fully loyal to what they believe in. Now, when it comes to integrity to others or with others, that's a totally different picture, is at 32%. So I would say this, if they tell you that they're going to have lunch tomorrow at 12.
Or they're going to be serving lunch.
Oh, they're going to be serving lunch. You have a 68% risk that there's not going to be any lunch when you show up, right?
Or even mismanaging of money. Like
Or
if
that you
you
get
are
nothing.
there to help people in need and you pocket, which we are discovering, like a lot of these people became billionaires from these organizations, which is unbelievable.
Or then show up for lunch and you get a glass of water instead.
Yeah.
And not only that, they might ask you to bring your own glass. So now we go into transparency. Transparency is at 10%. This is, we're talking about from 1 up to 100%. 100% obviously being fully transparent. So transparency at 10% is really what they're sharing with the public.
And what they're doing.
And what they're actually doing behind the curtains, it's totally out of alignment.
Times of revelations.
Alignment with divine purpose. As of what is the divine role that they're meant to play in this reality, yes, is at 22%. It's
out of alignment.
Way out of alignment. Alignment with its mission. So what the real mission is, that obviously
none of us know.
They're not sharing 90% of it because the transparency is at 10% and their integrity at 32%. Is 98%. So they're almost fully aligned with their mission. Yes.
Which is not clear to most of us what that mission is.
And often this, I mean, again, we share our opinion or point of view after we
test the frequencies.
We see the results, and from there we draw conclusions, or we describe pretty much what the numbers are telling you. Yes, you have to be open-minded, and not to be attached to the narrative that is being shared all over social media or all the media outlets out there. You just have to remain calm, open-minded, and tune in so that you can pick up on the distorted communication that is being sent to you when it comes and in the case of this organization, when they share their mission, right? Now, when it comes to again, I say most of these organizations that are operating from this level of consciousness of 55, especially when we are observing or listening to their representatives interact with the public or with the media outlets when they're being interviewed, they come across as very confident, very certain, and there's a lot of clarity, and that confuses people if you're not really paying attention. It's difficult to pick up that there is a major discordance between their words and their actions.
Yes.
And the frequency of 55 tends to do that, because for an individual that is vibrating at the frequency of 55, it has created this shield of protection and this disconnect from the emotions. So they're numbed pretty much, so they can navigate without being feeling uncomfortable when they clearly know that there is a major discrepancy between what they're sharing and the actions.
And what is truly
And what is
happening
truly
behind the closed doors.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so the
So
next
now the next one is the United States Agency for International Development.
USAID, which I think,
USAID.
yeah, which I think Trump is also, or his administration has withdrawn or is withdrawing from, right? From this organization or funding it.
USAID is the primary U.S. government agency responsible for providing foreign aid and development assistance worldwide. Established in 1961, USAID works to promote economic growth, democracy, health, education, humanitarian aid, and disaster relief in developing countries.
Again, this is what they claim. So we're just reading to you what they claim they do.
Yes. Its mission is to advance U.S. national security and economic interests while improving global stability and reducing poverty. It sounds great.
Sounds amazing.
USAID operates in partnership with governments, NGOs, and private sector organizations to implement programs in areas such as global health, food security, climate resilience, and crisis response. While USAID has played a crucial role in global development, it has also faced scrutiny over the effectiveness and political motivations of its aid programs. USAID has faced major scrutiny over several issues, including political influence and hidden agendas. Critics argue that USAID programs sometimes serve U.S. geopolitical interests rather than purely humanitarian goals. There have been claims that aid is used as a tool for diplomacy, regime change, or supporting governments aligned with U.S. policies, which somewhat, I'm sure in many cases, they could be categorized, classified, labeled as bribery, right?
Yeah.
Number two, lack of transparency and corruption concerns. Some USAID-funded projects have been accused of mismanagement, lack of oversight, or funds being diverted through corrupt local governments or organizations. Now, this help lands in the hands of many throughout the world. And, you always have people with good and people with bad intentions everywhere.
Especially in those power positions.
Yes. Three, tied aid and favoring U.S. companies. A portion of USAID funding is often allocated to American contractors, NGOs, and corporations, leading to criticism that the aid primarily benefits U.S. businesses rather than local economies. Well, it's U.S. aid anyways. More than likely
it's in U.S. interest.
Exactly, right? They're going to look up to their own interest. that is, I think, normal, where anyone can expect that at the least, somehow. For effectiveness and long-term impact, there have been concerns about the effectiveness of USAID programs, with some critics arguing that certain projects create dependency rather than fostering self-sufficiency in recipient nations. And number five, involvement in controversial programs. USAID has been linked to covert operations, such as funding civil society groups that opposed governments in Cuba and Venezuela, leading to allegations to interference in sovereign nations' affairs. That happens very often.
Yes.
I've learned that in Latin America throughout, that groups are hired to influence the trajectory of
Agents
the
of
country's,
influence.
yes, economical, social, and political course.
Yes. All right. Vibrational frequency for USAID is 55. Here we go. The frequency of manipulation. I just find it so interesting. All of these things are coming up. They're being revealed. Impact on human perception is 55. So of course, the 55 is the frequency of manipulation. So they're here to manipulate how things are perceived. Integrity. So integrity to themselves is 100%. Oh, I didn't give you the frequency of relationship to others. Relationship to others is also frequency of 55. Integrity to the organization themselves is 100%. Integrity to others is 42%. Transparency of the organization is 30%. Alignment with divine purpose is 48%. This is unfortunate, right? And alignment with its mission is 33%. And I guess, again, because they're being revealed at the moment, perhaps because the current administration wants to pull all the funding from there.
They have been intercepted, you can say.
Yes,
diverted.
That interfered with their mission. Yeah.
Right.
And I didn't give you the frequency of service to others. So again, this organization supposedly is helping others in other parts of the world, right? So their service to others frequency is 55 again. So they're serving to manipulate.
It is fascinating how they come up with names that speak for themselves. Right. And they paint a whole totally different picture of what is actually taking place, or how they are actually operating.
Yeah, the facade looks nice, but you have to really dive deep within. All right. The fourth one is United Nations Human Rights Council, which I think the current administration is also withdrawing from, is a UN body responsible for promoting, again, I'm going to share with you the information that they put out. It's not the information we necessarily align with. Responsible for promoting and protecting human rights worldwide, established in 2006. It is composed of 47 member states elected by the UN General Assembly, and is tasked with addressing human rights violations, making recommendations, conducting investigations. However, they have faced major scrutiny for several reasons. I'm going to read to you what is listed online. Again, this is not our belief system. I'm just going to put out what it states right now. Okay. So number one, the reason for scrutiny is membership controversies. Some of the council member states, they have been accused of severe human rights violations, yet they're elected to oversee global human rights issues. Countries like China, Russia, Saudi Arabia have served on the council despite facing allegations of oppression, censorship, and political repression. Number two, bias and political selectivity. The organization has been criticized for disproportionately focusing on Israel, passing more resolutions against it than against any other country. Critics argued that this reflects political bias rather than a balanced approach to global human rights issues. Again, we're reading to you what it says online, why it's controversial, right? Or scrutiny. Number 3 is lack of enforcement power. While the council issues resolutions and recommendations, it lacks enforcement mechanisms to hold violators accountable, making it largely symbolic rather than effective in addressing major human rights crises. Failure to address major humanitarian crises. The organization has been criticized for not taking strong action in urgent situations, such as the Uyghur human rights abuses in China, repression in Iran, and conflicts in Syria and Yemen. Some nations use their influence to block investigations or resolutions against themselves and their allies. And number 5, scrutiny, is resignations and withdrawals. The United States withdrew from the organization in 2018 under the Trump administration, calling it hypocritical and self-serving organization. While the US rejoined it again under Biden administration, the council continues to face skepticism over its credibility and effectiveness. So again, it's on the discussion boards again under the new administration, and the vibrational frequencies for UN, United Nations Human Rights Council, is 55, the frequency of manipulation. Impact on human perception is 55. Relationship to others frequency is 55. So again, to manipulate. Service to others is also 55. So they're serving under the pretense, they're claiming that they're defending human rights, when in reality, it's all to manipulate. It's all a power game. Integrity to self, 100%. Integrity to others, 66%. So you can see there's definitely alliances that are happening behind the scenes, although they're being revealed at the moment. Transparency is 57%. Alignment with divine purpose of the UN Human Rights Council organization is 34%, quite low. And alignment with its mission is 95%. So I guess since they have not been dismantled yet, they're still on their mission, but it's out of alignment with their divine purpose. So very interesting.
Service to others, also 55.
55.
Right?
It's all these organizations are quite interesting. So the last one.
This one.
Yeah.
The last one is the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, DOGE. Is an initiative established by President Donald Trump on January 20th, 2025, through an executive order led by entrepreneur Elon Musk. DOGE aims to streamline federal operations by modernizing technology and reducing government expenditures. The organization has been granted significant authority to assess and restructure various federal agencies, with a focus on eliminating waste and enhancing productivity. However, DOGE's methods have sparked controversy, including concerns over potential conflicts of interest and the legality of its actions. Critics argue that the initiative's aggressive approach may compromise essential government functions and oversight.
Yeah, this is a new organization, so it's interesting to dive into that.
DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency's overall frequency is, what do you think it is?
Make them pause.
What do you think the overall frequency is? And the overall frequency determines the level of consciousness. Yes. From 1 through 1,000.
You're gonna wait.
Okay, wonderful. Overall frequency is 55. So similar than the rest of them, right? That we have revealed.
It's not similar.
Up to this
The
point.
same
Oh, exactly
frequency.
the same frequency.
I find it fascinating.
Yes, I have to say that after reviewing the results, I was not expecting it to be exactly the same as the others in a way, but I will get into that.
Okay.
Impact on human perception, 55.
It's also to manipulate.
Relationships, 55. Relationship to others, the same, 55. Service to others, 55. And I thought, this is definitely a great idea, and it has to be done. It has, in the past.
What do you mean, great idea?
It's a great idea to really create an agency because of what we're at the moment. There's lack of transparency. Created a third party that pretty much audits.
An auditor.
An auditor, right? And really creates some sort of systematizes the audit to where it remains in place at all times, and that's how you can really.
But you want your auditor to be 55 frequency organization.
Okay, right. So I thought it makes sense. It's a great idea. To this point, it has to be done.
What are they going to do with the information is the question.
In order to restructure it and improve the system itself. But now with this number, it's a different story. What is really happening?
Big question marks. Like,
right?
What is happening to all of the data, all the information, your social securities, our social securities? Like, I want to know what is happening. But
yeah, there's so many questions that can arise from knowing the frequencies. Now, integrity to self is 100%. Integrity to others or with others. What do you feel it is? We do this when we go live often.
In our community, in the membership.
Because we want people to tune in and really bypass their belief system, bypass the narratives, what they're exposed to on a daily basis, the political views, bypass the ego, all of it. Yes, the preconceived ideas, but actually tune in and feel.
What is the integrity to others? Percentage, right?
Yes, and allow the information to flow. Right? In a way, tapping into the field where
field of information
is just floating, just waiting to be accessed. So now, integrity to others or with others is 38%.
I mean, when we were testing this, I had, because we have no idea, right? We just test. And then I was like a shocker. I was really shocked. I actually have no idea what to think of this.
Transparency.
Transparency of this
21%.
Oy.
Alignment with divine purpose, 52%.
So it's also completely
alignment with its mission is a totally different story. Is 100%. As its service to others, 55, right? Now,
so we know there's.
I would say that with alignment with its mission at 100%, 52% alignment with divine purpose, with the integrity to others at 38%, 21% in transparency, is without a doubt. We can't say exactly what it is. That was not our purpose.
Not what we do.
To dive into and analyze this organization, all the others. But without a doubt, they are not disclosing exactly what they are wanting to accomplish.
And what they're going to do, not only with investigation and audits, I would say, of government, organizations, but all of your information. What's happening to it?
That honestly, yeah, it is possible, of course,
I
right?
think
They're
so.
accessing, but this is beyond. This is about
Who's going to own
this is
data?
about restructuring the
Hmm.
system. This is about really, I would say that is the first phase to create a new system to where
Mm.
everyone
Digital
else is going to
system.
be hooked to one brain or to one server, and
It's
kind of
cool.
like integrate crypto, the crypto uh,
Crypto with your personal information,
with
you mean?
everything,
With
with
everything, your
everything.
medical information. This is
Yes,
literally we're headed for that.
right. And from
Um,
so doing that, then you're able to really control it all,
you
and
know what it is? It's the race of who holds the most power, and the power in the future is going to be
controlling data,
data.
controlling
So
everything,
this is literally somebody
to eventually create one brain that is everything else is connected
under
to.
one control.
Exactly.
A lot to think about.
That's what is that's what's happening. Is besides uh which is great, trying to find the irregularities in the glitches
In the
and the
systems.
flaws and how the system has been functioning. Without a doubt, you need to learn that in order to correct it and in order to create an improved system.
But who
But
is
the
going to be
whole idea
controlling it?
is eventually whoever
And
is
how it can be used for or against
whoever is
any
in power.
person,
Yeah,
right?
yes, and
And
the
that's the
as
part.
always,
Mhm.
it could land on the wrong be in their own hands, and at the same time, it could land in the right hands. But then the wrong hands can access it because there's this technology war
Who can hack
is
the system? How
unfolding.
can AI be used against humans? So
Mhm.
there's a lot
Yes.
to unpack here, to think about as well,
And what also came to me is that this is also leading to digital currency,
to standardize
to
digital currency as the
standardized
currency.
digital currency. Yes. And then with intention of saving money when producing the coins, right? As they shared a day or two that I came across this, and I
Or
told
the
Elena,
pennies that they want to
and I
stop.
tell you, you see, this is exactly
It's
what came
headed
to
in that
me, and
direction.
what I
We're headed for one
right
currency,
now is it
global
takes three
currency,
pennies to
print one.
print no, create one penny, so it makes sense to eliminate the penny. And this has been done in the past, but the reality was different. Now we are technological war, and at the same time we're relying more on technology. We're streamlining everything as much as possible, and we are merging all systems, and
Headed for
everyone
the
wants to
general
have
AI.
exactly towards or moving towards that. So this is really a major step towards that, and that is what they are not disclosing. Oh, that is part of what they're not
It's
disclosing.
part of
I
it.
don't want to come across as I know exactly what is happening, but
That's
let's just say that that is a part of what they're not disclosing, but it is
it's
without a doubt
happening.
a major factor that is being entertained and contemplated and exercised to exercise
Mm.
the plans behind the curtains. And I don't without a this is not to inflict fear at all. It is inevitable. That is what humanity is moving towards.
That's the Aquarian age,
You
the
want to
age of
fight it and be against it, and there's no need to freak out. Remember, when you activate fear, that is actually what creates stagnation, what creates um, the inability to discern what works and what doesn't work, creates energetic blockages to stop the flow of divine intelligence, the flow of the information that you can draw from the field with where all the solutions lie, and they're waiting to be reached or accessed. So fear is the last thing. You don't want to activate fear. You just want to practice
Observation.
observation. Exactly. That is the key.
Bird's eye view.
Now more than ever, because there's so much that is being shared out there that you're being pulled from all directions, all angles, to give you this, cultivate this sense of disconnection from your higher self, from your inner self, from the energy of God within, and to where you don't know where to turn. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? You hear a different narrative on a daily basis,
Yes.
coming from all angles, from all depending on their political views, depending on
communities too.
Yes. So now more than ever, it's time to be reminded, or remind yourself of your inner power, and practice. Meditation is a very good way of developing that. And
because ultimately, love wins.
Yes, exactly.
That's it.
And where there is observation,
yes,
fear does not exist. Observation is about really observing without being activating resistance. And when that happens, love, bliss, joy,
peace,
right? And when you're experiencing that, the consequence of that is that your whole reality shifts. Even though
chaos
you're
be
living in the same house, you have the same life partner, you work at the same place, you drive the same car, but you feel different, and you begin to see things from a broader perspective, and experiencing more joy and bliss in your life. So that is the key. Now
key to remember. Tune in. We hope you join us. Please share, like, comment. We are absolutely looking forward to hearing from you. We enjoy your different perspectives and feedback and connection.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
And always remain open-minded and open-hearted as well, right? That is the best way to go about it. And until then, stay aligned, and remember, we see each other in the mirror, because we're all reflections of God, of Source, and we're all playing an important role. And it's about choice. It's about you decide what reality you want to experience, because you are the creator.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.